I told my wife she makes traveling no fun. Now I'm stuck between saving my marriage or saving myself. Okay, so, about a month ago, I told my wife something I've been thinking for years. You make traveling no fun. It was during the last day of our trip to Yellowstone, supposed to be a chill family vacation. It ended with her screaming in the Suburban in a Wendy's parking lot in Idaho Falls, me booking a one-way flight home for our daughter and me, and her saying, loudly, that she was going to call a lawyer. She didn't. But maybe I wish she had. Let me rewind a bit. My wife is what I would generously call a chronic collector. What that means practically is, her car looks like the inside of a Goodwill donation bin. Our guest room? Technically a landfill. Kitchen table? I haven't eaten dinner at it since the Obama administration. She keeps everything. Broken hair dryers, expired coupons, McDonald's Happy Meal toys from 2014, clothes with tags on them she's going to resell. I once found 3 broken toasters in the garage. I asked why. She said she was going to take the good parts and make one working one. She is a high school teacher, not an appliance repair tech. But okay, we have a 3-year-old. I drive her to daycare in my car, because the last time I let my wife take her, she buckled her into a seat next to a stack of magazines, 2 old vacuum cleaners, and a 12-pack of expired seltzer. That's when I snapped, started documenting the inside of the car, just in case. We tried therapy, she cried, I sat there. We tried solo therapy. She said her therapist was just not understanding her. I offered to clean out the house together. She screamed that I was erasing her life. I suggested we rent a storage unit. She accused me of trying to hide her things like her mom did. Everything is a fight. But I kept trying. Then came Yellowstone. Her idea. Family road trip. We live in Colorado. Cool, I thought. Drive through Utah, hit Moab, stop in Salt Lake. Great idea in theory. Reality? She packed 14 tote bins of stuff for a 6-day trip. 14. One of them had 7 different reusable water bottles. Another one had yarn. We don't knit. Another had just random mail she hadn't opened yet. Our daughter had no legroom. I had one corner of the trunk for my duffel. We had to turn down hiking with friends because she couldn't find her hiking boots. They were under a box of old DVDs she brought just in case. The last straw was day 5 when I wanted to drive through Teton Pass, and she said no because she didn't trust the brakes on the Suburban with this much weight. I'm sorry, what? So I told her, at a Wendy's, over chicken nuggets and a Frosty. I love you, but you make traveling miserable. I don't even want to go anywhere with you anymore. You pack like we're fleeing the country and then yell at me when you can't find things. She went silent. Then she said, if you hate me that much, why don't you just leave? I said, honestly, I've thought about it. She said, well, maybe I'll call a lawyer. I said, maybe you should. She got in the car and didn't speak to me until we got back to Denver. Since then, she's been weirdly chipper, cleaning more, going to therapy, even let me clean out the car without a meltdown. Her mom called and said, I don't know what you said to her, but she's like a new person. Yeah, a new person who terrifies me, because I don't trust it. I don't trust that we're okay. I don't trust that this lasts. And honestly, I don't know if I even want it to. I'm tired, so tired. And I don't want to spend my 30s playing house janitor while she builds forts out of junk mail. But here's the twist. We're going to San Diego to visit her family in December. I told her very clearly, if that Suburban is packed like it was for Yellowstone, I'm flying. With our daughter. I already bought refundable tickets. She laughed. I wasn't joking. So yeah, I told my wife she makes traveling no fun. Now I'm watching her pretend everything's fine while I quietly document the inside of our house and car in case I end up in family court. I don't know who I am in this story. Hero, villain, just tired? I don't even care anymore. So, remember how I said I wasn't joking about flying to San Diego? Yeah, turns out neither was she about testing me. Fast forward to 2 days before the trip. I come home from work, I'm in facilities management for a chain of clinics, and the driveway is a circus. The garage is open, the Suburban is backed in, and the driveway looks like a yard sale exploded. Totes, coolers, foldable tables, bins, a fucking NutriBullet. Why? In case her sister wants smoothies. I open the back of the SUV, it's already half full. I said nothing. No yelling, no sarcastic, are we fleeing the country jokes. I just walked inside, took our daughter to the park, and booked our 2 one-way flights. Denver to San Diego. I paid extra for aisle seats and bought my kid a Paw Patrol neck pillow. She picked pink. She was psyched. She thought it was a game. My wife? Not so psyched. The showdown, night before the trip. She's stuffing shoes into a bin labeled Miss Key Essentials. When I say real calm, I bought us tickets. Daughter and I are flying. You can take the Suburban if you want. She freezes mid-pack. You're not serious. I told you what would happen. That's insane. You're flying with a toddler on purpose? Yes, I'd rather deal with TSA than you're hoarding for 10 hours. She accuses me of sabotage again. Why are you like this? She snaps. Why do you hate me? Because I want to take my kid to the beach without crawling over a fucking crockpot. Boom. She storms off, slams the bedroom door. Our daughter runs into my leg and whispers, "Is mommy mad?" Day of the trip. She texts me from the driveway at 6 a.m. Car is ready. Please come, I come outside. And guys, the car looks fine. It's a miracle, like an actual honest-to-God miracle. Everything is in the trunk, nothing piled to the ceiling. 2 small coolers, 1 diaper bag, her purse. The seats are empty, the floor is clean. I stare at her like she's a shapeshifter. What? She says. You actually packed light. Yeah, because I'm tired of you acting like I'm crazy. That's what she says. But her face tells a different story. She looks panicked, like she's holding her breath. I cancel the flight. It costs $70. Worth it just to make the point. We drive. San Diego, day 2. She's got her everything is fine mask on. Her family thinks we're #couple goals. Her sister says, you two always figure it out. Sure, if figuring it out means pretending not to notice the storage bins she mailed to her sister's house in advance. I'm not joking. I found the receipts in her email. UPS, 4 heavy boxes, 1 labeled kitchen comfort items, 1 labeled baby backup. I open them, a second NutriBullet, a set of mixing bowls, 4 throws, a blanket she crocheted in case someone wants a cozy pic by the fire. It's San Diego. It's 84 degrees. No fireplace. Confrontation number 2. I wait until the family's out, just me and her. I ask why she mailed 4 boxes of crap here behind my back. She denies it. They're for my sister. I say, your sister has a baby. You mailed her your baby's old onesies and expired snacks from the garage? She turns it on me. Classic. If you weren't such a control freak, I wouldn't have to sneak around. I lose it. You sneak around because you know it's insane. You want a clean house, a clean car, but you mail yourself trash like it's an Amazon Prime Day haul. And then she says it. The line that finally cracked me. You don't understand how much I need my things. They make me feel safe. You don't. I stood there, processing that. So you feel safer surrounded by garbage than with me? She didn't answer, just walked out of the room. That night, I slept on an air mattress in her sister's office, with my daughter. She asked if we were camping. I said yes. And here's the twist again. She still pretends we're fine. Still tells her mom we're doing great in therapy. Still posts old photos of us on Facebook with captions like, my rock. But I'm not a rock. I'm a guy who knows that when we get back to Colorado, the bins are coming back too. The guest room will be unguestable in 3 days. The car will fill up again. The NutriBullet will return to its shrine on the backseat floorboard. And me, I'm already mentally gone. One more thing, I looked into custody arrangements while we were here. Quietly. Talked to a lawyer on the beach while my kid made sandcastles. He said courts in Colorado don't like splitting toddlers from either parent unless it's dangerous. So I started documenting everything. The car, the house, the stuff, the fights. Because one day when I finally stop pretending, I want to make sure I don't lose my daughter to the woman who needs her Tupperware more than she needs me. So we get back from San Diego, and for the first time in maybe 4 years, I walk into our house and it's spotless. Like creepily spotless. The kind of clean where it doesn't smell like a lived-in home. It smells like pine sol and weird desperation, like someone cleaned it angrily. The guest room, empty. Table, clear. Kitchen counters. I can actually see Granite. She's standing there smiling like we just moved in. Surprise, she says. I hired a cleaning service while we were gone. Okay, sounds normal, right? Except there's a weird vibe, like, if you say one wrong thing, I will end you energy. And it only gets weirder. I go to unpack. I walk into our bedroom, and on the bed are 3 neatly folded sets of clothes for me. That's it. Like, 3. No socks, no underwear, no gym shorts, no hoodies. I open the closet. 90% of my stuff is gone. I call out, hey, where are all my clothes? She says from the hallway, I pared it down. Minimalism. We're doing it together, I said. You threw my clothes away without asking? No, I donated them. You didn't need 4 pairs of jeans, babe. My jaw actually hurt from clenching. You kept 35 throw blankets but tossed my Levi's? She says, it's my house too. I get a say. That's when I realized this wasn't a clean house. This was a controlled house. She starts making rules day 2 back. She puts up a whiteboard in the kitchen titled Family Systems. Rule number 1, no items left out overnight. Rule number 2, 1 in, 1 out. New item in-house equals old item out. Rule number 3, No negative talk about progress. I ask what counts as negative. She says anything that makes me feel like I'm not good enough. I say, so if I say I miss my clothes, that's negative? She nods, like that's the most reasonable thing in the world. My daughter starts saying weird things like, Mommy says we don't say bad words like mess. She says this while clutching a headless Barbie with duct tape around its torso like it survived a war. The bathroom incident. I come home from work one night, go to the bathroom, and notice my beard trimmer is gone. I ask her, she shrugs. We agreed it was clutter. We did not agree on that. She says, you never use it. I say, because I keep it charged in the cabinet where it was. She says, you're not listening. This is growth. I sleep on the couch that night. Therapy session number 4, total meltdown. We walk into the therapist's office and she immediately starts crying. Not sniffling, sobbing, ugly crying. She says I don't support her, says I humiliated her in Idaho, that I weaponized travel and used our daughter to make a power move, that I am emotionally neglectful and treat her like a mental patient. Therapist looks at me like I'm supposed to comfort her. I say nothing. Then she drops the bomb. I was going to tell him I'm pregnant, but now I'm not sure I want to keep it. That was the moment. The exact second I realized we're not saving this. We're not in therapy. We're in a hostage negotiation where I'm supposed to smile and agree while she rearranges my entire life around her spiraling. After the session, she tries to pretend like nothing happened. Want to get tacos? I say no. She gets quiet, then says, you're going to leave me, aren't you? I don't answer, because here's the fucked up part. She's been saying that exact line verbatim since we were dating. Whenever things got hard, whenever I pushed back, whenever I showed any spine at all. You're going to leave me, aren't you? It used to be a question. Now it feels like a dare. So I did something I've never done before. I secretly booked a hotel, 2 nights, just for me. Told her work was sending me to Boulder for training. She believed me, or maybe she didn't care. Either way, I packed a bag, my bag, and I left. Slept diagonally on a bed that didn't smell like scented candle trauma, ordered Chinese food, watched garbage TV. Didn't have to walk around bins or fight a Barbie for couch space. I felt human, not happy, but human. And when I got home, she had installed a baby gate at the hallway entrance. Not for the kid, for me. I just don't want you tracking dirt everywhere, she said. I stepped over it, without a word. So now I'm here, writing this, trying to figure out how the hell I ended up living in a minimalist hoarder cult run by my wife and her whiteboard. I know this sounds ridiculous. I know some of you are thinking, just leave, bro. But it's not that simple. We have a daughter. She's a good mom when she's present, when she's not spiraling, when she's not shipping herself garbage across state lines. But I'm scared, not of being alone, of not being able to protect my kid if this thing falls apart the wrong way. So yeah, I'm staying, for now, and documenting everything. I sleep on the couch with my phone on Do Not Disturb, but my camera roll is 50% time-stamped pictures of a tote labeled Miss City Dog Supplies, even though we haven't had a dog since 2021. Because I don't know when the final straw is coming, but it's coming. And when it does, I want to be ready. So yeah, I've been dealing with this mostly solo. Therapy wasn't helping. My wife's still in denial. Reddit strangers know more about my life than my actual friends. That changed last Thursday. My coworker Derek, who's not a deep guy, mostly talks about Broncos games and whether Chipotle is better than Qdoba, casually says, man, you look like hell. I shrug it off. Didn't sleep. He goes, yeah, no offense, but you've looked like that for like 6 months. Something about the way he said it made me snap. Not loudly, just quietly. I looked him dead in the eye and said, I think my wife's broken and I think I'm losing my mind living with her. He stopped chewing mid-bite. I laid it all out. In the break room, fluorescent lighting, still holding my yogurt. Just started talking like I'd been possessed. The hoarding, the toddler seat surrounded by expired makeup and cereal boxes, the mailed totes to San Diego, the whiteboard rules, the baby gate. I even told him about the "you're going to leave me, aren't you" line. He didn't interrupt, didn't laugh, didn't joke, just stared. And then he says super quietly, dude, you're being abused. That word, abused. I literally laughed, like snorted. No, I said, she's just mentally unwell and overwhelmed and... He cuts me off. No, man, you're in an emotionally abusive relationship. You're walking on eggshells, you're being manipulated, and you're scared to leave. That's abuse. That's when my throat closed up a little. I didn't tell him about the pregnancy. I haven't told anyone, because it feels like a trap. Like a bomb she can drop if I ever actually walk out. She hasn't brought it up again since the therapy session. No doctor appointments, no test, nothing. Just dropped it like a grenade and moved on. And part of me thinks she made it up, or thinks she might actually go through with it just to force me to stay. And if that sounds insane, yeah, welcome to my life. Derek told me to document everything. He said, don't just take pictures. Write things down. Log every argument, every date, every change in the house. So now I've got this stupid notes app file labeled MISCDOMESTIC. Here's an actual entry from last week. September 1st, 9:10 p.m. argued over banana peels. She said I left one on the counter to test her. I had eaten the banana in the garage. She cried, called me manipulative, slept in daughter's bed again. I write that. Then 10 minutes later, I'm cleaning Play-Doh out of the carpet while she watches ASMR folding videos on YouTube and tells me, you could learn something from this. Like what? How to fold my spine in half and vanish? Another fun one. 2 days ago, I found a box labeled baby stuff for donation in the back of her car. Awesome, right? Except inside were my daughter's baby teeth. All of them. In a little pouch. A hospital wristband from my birth in 1989. 4 broken bottle nipples. An old pacifier that had literal mold on it, and a wedding napkin with our names misspelled on it from someone else's wedding. I showed her the moldy pacifier and said, this isn't donation. This is biohazard. She took it out of my hands like I was hurting her feelings and said, you don't have to understand. You just have to support. I'm sorry. If you're keeping human teeth and moldy silicone in the same bin and calling it baby stuff, I don't think support is what you need. Here's the thing, she's not evil. She still plays with our daughter, still teaches full-time, bakes sometimes, texts me stupid TikToks about squirrels and weird bread recipes, but then she'll say something like, if you ever take her from me, I will make your life unlivable. Out of nowhere, at like 11 p.m. while folding laundry, or she'll walk up behind me while I'm on my laptop and ask, are you writing about me? I always lie, and I hate that. I hate lying. I hate documenting. I hate planning like I'm escaping a war zone instead of just leaving a marriage. But I also know if I don't plan, she wins. She'll twist it. She'll say I was unstable. She'll cry and play the victim and say I was emotionally cold and disconnected and too controlling. She's already laying the groundwork. Last week, she told her mom I've changed and started keeping secrets, that I don't love them anymore. I do, I just don't love living with them. So here's where I'm at. I've got a lawyer on standby, not retained yet, but briefed. I've got flight records, receipts, photos, and now a Google Doc with date-stamped incidents. I've got 2 suitcases pre-packed in the garage rafters labeled camping gear. One for me, one for my daughter. I've got a burner phone in my car glove box. And still, I'm here, every night, sleeping on the couch, cleaning up after her, watching our life collapse in slow motion. Because I keep thinking, maybe, just maybe, my kid deserves 1 more month of a 2-parent home before everything shatters. But maybe I'm just delaying the inevitable. Next week, she wants to start a house reset challenge. Says we'll go room by room and rediscover joy. I said, what if I don't want to? She said, then you can leave. She didn't mean it as a dare this time. She meant it like a warning. Last Friday, I finally left. Not with a big blow-up, no screaming, no ultimatums, no, you made me do this. Nothing dramatic. I just didn't come home. Let me explain. It started with the Barbie. Our daughter has this one Barbie. Janky, half-naked, duct tape around her midsection, real Mad Max energy. She carries it everywhere. That day, I picked her up from daycare. She was quiet, wouldn't eat her goldfish, wouldn't talk. Eventually, she whispers, Mommy threw my Barbie in the trash. I said, why? She said it was broken and ugly. And it doesn't bring joy, that phrase. Doesn't bring joy. She's been watching too many Marie Kondo TikToks again. I drove straight home, walked in the door, didn't even say hi, went straight to the trash bin. There it was, on top of a banana peel and a coupon flyer. Barbie, taped and dirty, but still there. I picked it up, looked her in the eye, and she said, I did it for her. That doll was gross. She needs to learn value. That was it. That was the moment. So I did something crazy. I said nothing. Just walked into the bedroom, grabbed the pre-packed bags from the garage, told my daughter we were going to a hotel for a daddy weekend, and walked out. My wife said, are you seriously doing this? I said, yeah, quietly. For once, she followed us to the car shouting, is this about the Barbie? Are you kidding me? I buckled my daughter in, gave her the Barbie, and closed the door. She banged on the window and said, if you leave, I'll make this hell. I said, I've been living in it. Then I drove away. I didn't go far, just to a Holiday Inn Express near I-25. We got dinner from Sonic. My daughter got a grilled cheese and told me she liked the Barbie's battle tape. She said, are we running away? I said, no, baby. We're just breathing. She smiled. Fell asleep next to me in bed watching Bluey. I sat in the dark staring at the ceiling wondering if I had finally become the villain. Because yeah, I left. But I also left behind a woman who is clearly not okay. And that fucks with me. The next morning I got a text from her. No subject, no emojis, just this. Hope you're happy. She cried for you all night. Then I told my mom you're having a breakdown. She's coming over. Then, if you ever want to come back, there will be rules. I'm not letting you gaslight me anymore. 3 texts, back to back, accusing, defensive, threatening, sad. I showed them to my lawyer later that week. He nodded and said, documented. We stayed gone all weekend. I told work I had a family emergency, checked us into a longer-term rental through a buddy. I met with the lawyer, told him everything. He said, you've got a shot at 50-50 custody, but you need to start the paper trail now. So I filed. I didn't tell her, not yet. I just kept documenting. Emails, messages, missed calls. Sunday night, she left me a voicemail. I still haven't listened to it. I keep staring at the notification like it's a bomb I don't want to defuse. Monday morning, I dropped my daughter off at daycare like nothing happened. She gave me a hug and said, can Barbie come tomorrow too? I said, she goes wherever you go. And then I sat in my car and cried, like full, ugly sobbing, for 15 straight minutes. Not because I missed my wife, because I had no idea how long I'd been holding this in. So here's where I'll leave this. Yes, I left, but not out of rage, out of exhaustion, out of self-preservation. And I'm still scared. Of court, of public opinion, of what happens when a woman who sees herself as the victim decides to burn it all down. But I'm also done being afraid of her. Because I finally realized something, I wasn't staying for my daughter. I was staying because I didn't believe I deserved better. And now, I'm not sure what I deserve, but I know what she doesn't. And that's me. Thanks for listening. Really, if you're reading this thinking he sounds just like me, then let me say what I wish someone had said to me months ago. You're not crazy, you're not weak, you're just really, really tired. And tired people don't need advice. They need exits. I found mine. Now I'm holding the door for you. Thanks for watching. If you liked the story, hit subscribe. See you in the next one.